Okay, after months of being on hiatus, we're finally back with the newest episode of Cardcaptor Sakura. Wait a minute, I don't think that's quite right. Sorry, wrong show. Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't remember there being Nazis in Cardcaptor. I don't know.
As far as you know.
But yeah, so 1,000 Year Blood War, episode 14 is here. Finally, man. And feels so good for it to be back. Firstly, learned some stuff from last time, though, quickly want to go over. Like, for example, apparently Roger Craig Smith didn't come back as Shinji because something about how they didn't want to go full Union with this dub. There's different branches of the Union, because I know some of these people are I guess they worked on non-union contract. Maybe Roger wasn't willing to do that or something. I don't know. That whole thing is...
Or they didn't even attempt to try to get him in. That's the one I'm going with.
Yeah, because you have Chris Smith over there with Rojiro, and I'm pretty sure he would have been pretty easy to get in. Who knows, though. I did see a couple people online say that they think Ray Chase would have been a perfect replacement for Shinji, and I 100% agree with that. He's voiced characters like this numerous times. I look at Weiss and Eden Zero. It's basically just Shinji. Speaking of which, where's Season 2's dub of that Crunchyroll?
And the trash can with them where they belong.
I also saw some people say that, funnily enough, with Chad's replacement, Alan Mesa, people say Jameson actually said the Hispanic attack names better than the actual Hispanic dude. It's like, okay, that is kind of funny. Like, if you listen to... You can look up voice comparisons all over YouTube with all the Vuz or whatever, and yeah, I guess I could... I don't know Spanish, but people are saying it sounds more accurate.
He only knows the important words.
Exactly. I know all the swear words. That's what I retained. Also, we know the ADR director and scriptwriter. ADR director is Ryan Johnston. No, not Johnson. Not the dude that fucked up Star Wars. With the scriptwriter being Ardwhite Chamberlain. And I kept thinking Ardhide when I saw that name, because thinking too much Vinland Saga.
You really have.
Apparently Ardwhite did the script for the live-action Bleach movie. So this is the first time working on Bleach. Speaking of which, that film leaves Netflix in 2 weeks at the time of this recording. Hopefully someone gets the rights to preserve it, because I still say that one is one of the solid live-action movies. But enough stalling. You ready to get to this episode, Dai?
Maybe. What's in it for me?
The episode opens with Yhwach being born as a baby! Hi, baby! Look at all the...
instinct is to kill. What? That's a weird baby.
Look at all those hands, Dai! And they're chanting Yhwach's name, and yeah, apparently you could see when each hand touches the baby, they get a blue light, basically doing the whole symbolism of that's when they got the Quincy powers bestowed upon them. And yeah. Also, you caught this, right? How teen Yhwach, or when he's like an adolescent, looks like Tensei Getsu. When you see him for like a second, when it's going through his life before he's the current one we know today.
Maybe if he talks next time, he'll be voiced by him too.
Yep. Now we're on the OP, and Dai, what the hell is going on in this OP, man?
It's another one of those weird Bleach OPs. They're just doing very casual stuff in the real world.
Aren't they playing basketball or some shit?
Yes, even playing fucking basketball.
We're gonna get a Bleach high school spinoff, aren't we?
Being so stuff like this has existed since even the first OP, yeah, I would say.
I'm surprised we haven't actually got that yet. I mean, the OP song itself is fine. It's a very punk rock song, which fits with old Bleach's thing.
There's so much artwork and a lot of OPs of characters dressed in modern clothing.
Yeah. casual wear.
Causality wear.
Did you say someone? Did you say it was Shuhei? I think you said was in a rap battle or something too.
Yes.
What the fuck?
With one of the quincys, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because it's still like I'm pretty sure the basketball thing is the Soul Reapers versus the Quincy's in basketball or something too. Like they frame it all around that.
Pretty sure the one of the quincys playing basketball is Basby.
Yeah. Yeah, so the OP was funny.
I don't know, that OP was a lot to take.
Well, after that though, we have an anime-only scene with Ichigo talking to Ichigo. Man, their names are really similar. With the Ichigo calling the Seirete pathetic. 1,000 years has made them soft. Look at how they got their asses kicked. It's just like, you guys...
Again.
Yeah. It's just going on. You guys literally didn't do anything. That's what Ichigo's like, yeah, but we're not supposed to. I mean, we're supposed to train people, though. Like you, Ichigo. Which, by the way, if you go back there, you're not ready yet. You're going to get your ass kicked again. So, you're going to be training with me now. Which, all the majority of the training scenes with Ichigo and Ichigo are anime only. So, definitely an improvement on the manga in that regard.
1,000 years for training. I mean, yes.
Well, cut to the Sternritter's castle, and yeah, Shirosagi went all in on making their theme sound as, what would you call it? Nazi-esque? Anthem-esque? As possible here. As Yhwach announces to all of the Quincy's that are gathered that Uryu, as the last living Quincy in the world of the living or whatever, will be his successor. And yeah, you can see this has unrest amongst the Quincy's. Cause like, who the hell's this new dude showing up? He's taking all of our shit. We don't even know him. You know, it's like that thing when you're at work and the new guy gets promoted above you, even though you've been working there for years.
It literally is.
Yeah. As Yhwach's like, there will be no objections. Well, Yhwach leaves as we get everyone's favorite scene. Bambietta's really frustrated as she grabs the closest dude that she finds attractive as she starts fucking and killing. I mean, this dude gets cut in half, doesn't he?
No, he's half a man.
Yeah. That's how she lets off stress. Hey, at least you know he got to die with a smile on his face. Also,
yeah,
this
sure, if that's what it's called.
This is the scene the Twitter retards read at endlessly, because of course they did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, they're on Twitter, so obviously they're retarded.
Well, her subordinates show up, known as the Bambies. Yeah, that is their official name. One voiced by Jeremy Lee again, because of course she hasn't been name dropped yet. So there's that.
She has to join every faction.
Yep. They're basically like, how could you make a mess here again? What is wrong with you? And of course, Bambietta makes a comment saying, well, at least his mess is stuck inside me. Woof! But yeah, they're like, oh, come on. Also, Basby's throwing a bitch in the main hall, so...
Whoa, he's flipping a bitch.
Yeah. So they all go out there, as the Quincy's are all arguing about Yhwach's, well, decision. Also, the Bambies being here is apparently anime only too, so there's that. Speaking of which, now we could talk about who some of them are voiced by in their names. So the first one is Giselle, voiced by Casey McGillow. Shinji from that dub of Ava, and Emporio from JoJo Stone Ocean. I only had a couple of lines here, so need to hear more before I can make an honest opinion on this one. But the stupid one, after Dai pointed it out, is Candace. Voiced by Shara Kirby. Who did Shara Kirby also voice Dai?
Candace and Genshin.
It's so dumb. She
They
was
did
Mila
that
Rose.
on purpose.
Yeah, they definitely did. She was Mila Rose in set 1, but I don't know when or if we're ever seeing Mila Rose again, so,
Never.
yeah, I don't mind this one as much when it comes to double casting. But yeah.
Double cast as long as they're a bit character you're never gonna see again.
Giselle's telling Candace, hey, Candy, why don't you go hit on, you know, the Successor dude? Come on, he's totally be good for you. And Candace, like, do I look like a slut to you? I mean, I don't know. Yes. But yeah. Basby's angry and prepares to leave when Hoshwald arrives. And Basby's like, how could you want this, Hoshwald? You know, we'd all be fine if you were the Successor. But hey, if you want to give up your seat, then why don't I just take it off you right now? Since Hoshwald is all like, hey, Yhwach's word is law, I'm not going to question it. So we're about to get a cool fight, but we get cucked. By Askin, one of the other new Quincy's that just showed up. Yes, Foreskin.
Oh, Askin, no, he's not Ermac. Never mind.
Askin, who you keep claiming looks like a Fullbring reject when you showed up.
He literally has fucking Ginjo's haircut!
I just keep thinking ASCII Entertainment, that logo that pops up whenever you boot up a Kingsfield game on PS1. That is a very deep reference.
That is very specific that no one is gonna know about.
Yeah. Okay.
Because all that exists now are these fake fans who only play modern FromSoft games.
Yeah, you haven't played much Kingsfield either, man.
Hi, I played Armored Core 1. I've been...
But can't avoid it anymore. Asking, it's voiced by Damon fucking Mills. Lenny from Genshin, it's Lenny, right? That's how you pronounce it, I think. And, fortunately, the current voice of Frieza. Oh. Voice performance isn't the problem. You all know. It's just Damon's kind of a piece of shit. But, yeah. He basically goes on saying, like, you all need to calm down. Conflict is forbidden. Remember that? Besides, there's more important things to worry about. And then he calls Hoshwald their next emperor before leaving. Meaning that, yeah, even Askin is kind of upset about the Uryu situation. I mean, I do actually really like that. The Sternmitters aren't one-note followers that just accept literally everything. They all do have their own shit going on. Speaking of which, we're with Uryu and Yhwach now, Dai. And this is one change here that makes way, way more sense in the anime than in the manga.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Dai, you know how Yhwach has his blood for Uryu to drink?
Yeah.
He questions Yhwach's motives before drinking the blood. In the manga, he just drinks it right away and then questions him. That doesn't make much sense. Here it at least shows Uryu's still suspicious of the situation and wanting to get all the information he can. But yeah.
He still drinks it, though.
Oh, he does, because he gets the info he wanted. He gets the answer he wanted. So, he asks, like, why...
Tastes like iron.
Why am I, you know, blah, blah, blah. You do see a scene of Uryu flashing and visiting paying his respects to his mother's grave, which that's anime only also, by the way. Yhwach explains because Uryu is the only one who survived Osvalin. That's when Yhwach called back all the Quincy's powers, if y'all need a refresher. It wasn't by accident, though. Uryu understands after reading his granddad's journal, he has diary, that the Soul Reapers and Quincy's will never get along. And, be honest, Derek Stephen Prince, or as I keep memeing on him, DSP, did a really good job with this scene. So, yeah, he ends up drinking Yhwach's blood in the end. As the ritual is complete and Yhwach states he will bestow upon him the letter A, the same letter that Yhwach has. I wonder what A could stand for. Anus.
Wait, what?
We both basically said the same thing. Now we're in Hueco Mundo with Orihime and Chad, as they're sent to some ruins by Urahara. And they have a flying creature thing with them named Para. What the fuck even is that thing?
I don't know. I mean, there's also a visual Don't the Chocolate Pepe cameo.
Oh, they didn't get to
Pepe, yeah.
Yeah, Pepe's one of the Quincy's.
Same thing. They're interchangeable.
Well, either way, Urahara is watching them through Harrow as they're getting ready to train, with a mysterious figure along for the ride with them. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, I know. Well, who could be wearing a cloak and have a Zanpakuto? toe? No idea.
Yeah, and the manga makes a little more sense here why they're trying to play it up as a pseudo-mystery, but here, everyone already fucking knows. Exactly. Y'all should know who it is. He literally talked last set. Anyway, Orihime wonders how Ichigo is doing, as, speaking of which, we cut to Ichigo and Ichibei. As Ichibei says, in order to defeat Yhwach, he must surpass the existence of a Soul Reaper. And he then takes Ichigo to a sacred place that only the Soul King can allow you entry to. As they're
bathroom.
I don't think that's quite right. As we cut to another anime-only scene with Shunsui and Nanao, as Shunsui says he's kind of suspicious of Ichibei's intentions with Ichigo. And Nanao's like, are you worried? What's wrong? And then Shunsui's like, never mind. Let's just focus on the here and now. I bet the Nanao fans are happy getting to see her in an extra scene. Right, Dai?
What?
Yeah, Nanao's the worst girl. Speaking of which, we got Best Girl coming up in the next scene. Because we cut to Shinji, and I still can't feel Alex as him. Maybe he'll get better, though, when Shinji gets some actual major shit coming up, which, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who don't...
Maybe he can take us to Memphis.
I hate you. But he's on the phone with Hiyori. Oh, God. Okay. When I first heard this, I was not a fan at all. Hiyori is now voiced by Inaris Quinones. Look, you all know I have my problems with her. I can look past bias if a person's at least okay at voting. This one does not fucking work, though. It really doesn't. But I heard it twice, because I watched the episode a second time.
Because of course you did.
But yeah. The anger that she projects with Hiyori just sounds so damn forced. It doesn't sound genuine, like the two Lauras that voiced her before. Hell, they could have even gotten Melanie, and Melanie voiced her in one of the games.
Yeah. No, that would require effort.
Or, I don't know. Could have used Jeremy Lee. She's voiced characters like this. Whatever. We're stuck with this fucking Hiyori. Anyway, Shinji asks for her help with a situation that a box is about to arrive, as it does. And Hachi brings it in.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? And Hachi's still voiced by Joe Ackman. And he's definitely someone who sounds a lot older here if you listen to him, which makes sense. Yeah. It's been a decade. But still nice they got him back.
This one's not that surprising since he's bad and stuff recently.
Yeah. Well,
if he hasn't been in anything since in a decade, it would be just as surprising as Mayuri being the same.
Yeah. Well, she asks the other advisors to help seal the distortion finish between the world of the living and the Soul Society. As the other advisors like, really, you're roping us into this? Including Love, who's now voiced by Bill Butts. That replacement is actually really good, in my opinion.
Aside from the fact that she already voiced like 3 people.
Yeah, but it's fine. Out of all, if they had to pick someone that's here, I think he was their best pick. And Lisa, it still says is Terra Plot, even though she only had 1 sentence, so I really couldn't tell. But yeah.
I mean, I believe it with who we're getting to next.
Yeah. We'll cut to Renji and Rukia training as... Actually, what the fuck training are they even doing? Are they just standing there with their weapons pointed at each other or something?
Yeah.
As Renji can't do it because he has trouble sitting still. That makes so much sense.
Typical no... Wait, what?
Yeah. But before Rukia could say, "Oh, you damn it, you fool, Renji," Kurinji calls Rukia's soul phone, everyone has a soul phone, to tell her Byakuya's recovered. As we cut to Kurinji and Byakuya being like, "Hey, are you okay? You've been in my spring longer than anyone else." And Byakuya more or less just says, "Yeah, he's fine," that he's resolved himself to make himself stronger than ever before. Meanwhile, back with Rukia and Renji, Ichigo arrives saying, "Hey, you've all made great progress with your training, so it's time for serious training." Oh, yeah. Now we're in the world of the living, with Ichigo's friends, Tatsuki, who doesn't waifu Tatsuki? If you don't, you're a wrong-sider. Mizuito and Keiko, all voiced by the same people.
Don't you mean Yosuke?
Yeah. Anyway,
that's what I'm always gonna call him.
Yeah, they're all wondering where Ichigo is as Shunsui arrives. And Mizuito is the only one who remembers him from the Aizen incident. I love how Shunsui's like, "I don't remember introducing myself to you, but sure."
That checks out for him. He was probably drunk.
Either that or Mizuito just paid very close attention to their names, since that whole thing is like he's over-observant on everything. But yeah, Shunsui says they might have to say goodbye to Ichigo. That Ichigo is in a very special place in the Soul Society, and he might get a new power that could save everyone, but it could affect the world of the living, so he might be trapped in Soul Society, like he might be forced to never come back again. Keiko gets very angry at this, saying like, "Oh, well, you always have to rely on Ichigo, so isn't this convenient for you guys?" And again, another scene I actually really like, because it shows Keiko might be a bit of a, goofball or whatever, but he does actually really care about Ichigo.
He died instantly.
Exactly. Before things can escalate farther, Mizuito steps in and is like, "This is all hypothetical, right? What's the chances of this?" That's when Shunsui reveals, "Oh, it's only 1 in 10,000, maybe even less. But I'm only telling you because, I mean, it'd be kind of a dick move to keep Ichigo's friends in the dark, wouldn't it? Anyway, here, I'm going to give you guys these things called soul tickets. They're passes that'll let you visit the Soul Society should the worst occur." Now, back with Chan and Orihime. Orihime thinks that it's really peaceful right now, and that it's nice everyone is all working together, that the Iran cars are now working with them, which is something she thought would never happen, all in order to save the Soul Society and everyone else. She just wants everyone to be happy. And apparently this is a pseudo blink and you miss it thing, if anime only as well, where during her speech you see 2 Fullbringers approach Urahara, which it's Riruka and Yukio. And I actually do hope the Fullbringers get more shit in this arc, man. I'd be down for that. Especially Riruka.
Especially Ginz.
No, we already got Ginjo last set. Fucking. Besides, you already said Askin looks like a Ginjo cosplayer. We don't need 2.
What if Ginjo cosplayed as a Quincy?
Well, now we're back in the Seirete as it's engulfed in shadows and shit. And it gets replaced by the Quincy City. Holy shit. And a song that is definitely recycled from the Berserk OST plays during this of things going haywire. And it's the song that plays when they go into the astral plane world in that too. It sounds remarkably similar. Though, yeah.
Is it possible to plagiarize or steal from yourself?
I mean, hey, God Hand, Sternritters, there's a similarity there, I'm sure.
was talking about the OST.
I know you were. I know. That's what I was saying. Like, it makes sense to use those themes. But yeah. As we see, Yhwach, Haschwald, and Uryu all talking about the Emperor's song. And Yhwach reveals the final verse of the song. The confined king regains his pulse after 900 years. His mind after 90, his strength after 9, and then Zawado after 9 days. And these are the final days of the world. As we see the quincys marching onward towards round 2 of the war. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. With a dick cliffhanger. Because Shonen anime is evil. Fucking son bitch, man. I want to see what happens next.
It's just why people like marathoning it and not watching it weekly.
I'm too impatient, man. It's Bleach. Also, we're on the end credits, so how do these all go die?
I mean, it's just the quincys as shadows and Soul Reapers appearing in Soul Reaper's shadows, more or less. Okay. And as black silhouettes, there's not much to do unless you break it down, compare it to shots of the manga, blah blah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mention one of the other quincys was BG9, voiced by Aaron LaPlante, again, the Plant Man. So we'll probably hear him talk more next time.
Talk in that suit of armor.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as any of the major cuts, honestly, not really that major. There's one thing that you could count, I guess, but we'll get to that in a second. Some of the stuff with the Bambis and Bambietta is streamlined a bit, I guess. Which they're yelling at her for making a mess. Bambietta's like, well, you guys make messes too, as one of them's like, hey, I make messes with cookies and chocolate. That is not the same thing. I don't know.
Chocolate.
But yeah, overall with what we got with the Bambis, I'd say the anime wins out on this one. The one that I could see some people saying is a major one is Haschwald talking to one of his aides, as they're like, well, aren't you worried about what Yhwach did? And Haschwald explains that what Yhwach did with the whole Uryu situation was to make the quincys pissed off on purpose, because now they will all have their eyes on Uryu, forcing Uryu to reveal his true colors if he's 100% loyal to them. So, as far as any other scenes that were cut, there was a cut Kurosaki clinic scene, which is just more or less Yuzu and Karin being like, I wonder what's going on with Ichigo. We got enough of that this episode, so...
We get enough of that every arc, honestly.
Yeah, so that one I don't mind.
I wonder what Ichigo's doing right now. Maybe I should call him dead weight.
And Rukia and Renji's conversation is the last thing that was just trimmed down a bit, where they explain how the Reishi in the Soul Palace is, you know, a little more difficult to breathe in, because they're not used to it. Yeah. They also explain how Senjimaru, you know, the recovery member of Squad Zero, stripped them all to get their measurements, both of them, so they could make them new, or she could make them new Shihakusho to wear. And they both imagine, how is Byakuya going to put up with that? Basically a comedic bit, which this has already been cutting a lot of the comedic shit as is. So, that's really it. Nothing really that major, I guess. Overall, though, that was Bleach episode 14. Did you have fun with it, Dai? Thought it was really good.
Outside of Hulu still having the shittiest volume?
Yeah. Someone please let us know. Like, if you're watching it on the Hulu app, is it doing that shit too? For you guys?
Maybe not.
Fuck.
Maybe not on the website.
Yeah, that's why I specifically said the app. As far as MVP for this episode, I really like Derek Stephen Prince during that whole discussion with Yhwach. And Yako did great as Bambietta, especially during those scenes. It's kind of dumb. Menines, she also voices, who's on one of the other Bambis, which means Anyako literally works for herself. But that's par for the course, I guess.
Just like she saved herself in JJK.
Yeah. But overall, really solid episode. Really enjoyed it. And now that the build-up is over, next time we're going to be getting lots of action and fights. So I can't wait for that. Some of these fights coming up are hype as fuck, too. But let's know what y'all thought. If y'all liked the episode and everything. As I said, like a highlight was I really like the quincys dynamic with all the Stern Ritters. Because they could have easily just gone the easy way out and made them one note. Oh, we're going to serve Yhwach unconditionally, not question anything he says whatsoever. But they didn't do that, so I was happy about that. But anything else to add, Di, before we get out of here?
Yes. That is all.
You wonder who that mysterious figure is with Orihime and Chad.
It's a mystery.
Mysterious
Clearly,
mysteries.
it's Psylocke.
No, he came back during the fucking Hell movie. We don't need
He's here to
Psylocke.
give you a blessing.
Oh yeah, and obviously, like Dub side, T-Warrior's replacement's still only, and yeah, you already know. I already mentioned major issues with that I have the Dub. There's two. I mentioned it before. Don't need to go over it again. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's it though. Yeah. Let us know what y'all thought, if you agree, if you disagree. I don't know. And if you think Dave Wittenberg should voice in this series.
There's no Kakashi stand-in.
Motherfucker! Dave Wittenberg, man. Till next time, guys. Join us again for Bleach next week. So till then.